I'm so privileged to have a wonderful HR leader joining me on the show today. I'm talking about Dr. C. Jaya Kumar, CHRO of L&T.
No, repeatedly what I heard from my father right from beginning is whichever field
Okay.
you have to be the best.
Isn't there a temptation to keep advising your own children?
Continuous education is a must. I don't think myself as very intelligent and all, but I compensate it by extra hours of effort.
I think anyone who works with you closely can notice all these principles very much in practice. How did HRD become a, such a DNA of L&T?
The term HRD, Human
Yeah.
Resource Department, was first in L&T in the whole
Yes.
of country. Maybe
Amazing.
I would have lost the position of a CHRO.
Oh, no.
One and only thing which will differentiate an organization and a sustained growth will be the quality of the talent and the engagement of the talent and how you take care of the talent.
A CHRO sitting at that level in the organization, how do you actually figure out your priorities?
How do you enhance the productivity of your employees? How do they fix their goals? How do they make it measurable? How do they give feedback and etc. in terms of performance?
Hello and welcome to this episode of HR Footprints podcast series. This episode is very special. One, because I'm playing the host and not the speaker. But of course, more importantly, I'm so privileged to have a wonderful HR leader joining me on the show today. If you Google his name on the web or you check out on the LinkedIn page, you will understand how well known this leader is and how diverse his contributions have been in the HR field. I mean, we all can actually see it. I'm talking about Dr. C. Jay Kumar, CHRO of L&T. I'm so happy to welcome him onto the stage.
Thank you,
So
Raj.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking time and joining me on the show.
Thank you, Dr. Raj, for this opportunity. Thank you.
Sure, sir. So I think many people heard you, seen you in various forums, but I want to keep this discussion a little more personal because I'm a little greedy to understand and learn from you a few insights as a person, as an HR champion, and also as a leader in business. So I'm sure I think there is so much to learn from your experiences and those small anecdotes. So I would like to keep that more on that track with your permission.
Sure.
So we all heard, sir, that you have fantastic academic track record, multiple master's degrees, and you got LLB. You got a PhD from University of Madras. You are an alumni of London Business School. And I remember, I think you also attended senior management programs at Harvard and NTL, so on and so forth. You've been a continuous learner. But my question to begin with is, how did it all start? How did you actually step into HR, sir? How did you choose this career path?
It was not well thought of that I have to get into HR. After my graduation, Madras, I was staying in Chennai, which is in EGMO, and Madras School of Social Work was just a kilometer, not even a kilometer, half a kilometer away. And during 80s and 85s, Madras School of Social Work was a big name. Big name
Yes.
means if you visit the college that time, you would have never seen a green color board, blackboard. We have only seen
Okay.
blackboard. At the
Okay.
time, it
Oh,
is that
yeah.
green
Okay.
color board,
Right.
and they
Right.
have their OHP and thing for teaching,
Okay.
including the classrooms and the quality of education and the level was very high. So it was a big ambition to study in such a place.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that was the only pull. And we find people in cars and bikes there. It's not like an ordinary, it was a very high end thing.
Okay.
The
Okay.
other option was I wanted to get into law.
Okay.
because my father was an LLB, and he had an interest in law, that after his retirement he wanted to practice and all those things. Somewhere or
Okay.
other I was interested in law. So this was
Okay.
the two option available. Out of that, I got immediately the admission in Madras School of Social Work.
Beautiful.
So I
Beautiful.
joined there, and then as soon as I completed, I got into
Okay.
a
Okay.
company called Samarpan Fabricators Limited, and immediately moved to L&T. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So that institution, the stature, the
yeah,
layout, all that attracted
yeah.
you and pulled
Yes,
you into that.
yes, yes,
And since you mentioned about your dad, sir, did he not influence you to come into his track and possibly become his successor in the law profession anytime?
no, the repeatedly what I heard from my father right from beginning is, whichever field
Okay.
you have to be the best.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so he was not particular about yoga to enter into this field, that field. He used to tell, whatever field you enter, you should be the best. There
Beautiful.
is nothing below that. So that is the only
Amazing.
motivation there from me, from the advice from my father's side. So he left it to
Amazing.
our choice.
Amazing.
Yeah,
No, no force at all.
no
He
force.
never forced you at all.
No, no,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
no.
So, as a parent, sir, do you give advice because you're also into HR with so much of vast experience? Isn't there a temptation to keep advising your own children?
We tend to, but most of the time it lands as a discussion than an advice.
Okay.
Only
Okay.
ask a probing questions to ask them to make them reflect, and then look upon, and then if any changes to be done, that is
Okay.
being done. So we don't get into an advice mode at all. So more of a discussion, more of an open-ended questions, allowing
Okay.
them to reflect into it. Try to put all my coaching skills inside to see that it
I
is
was,
perfect.
I was about to say that the parent as a coach.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
lovely,
that is
lovely,
right.
lovely, wonderful. So now that we are talking about parenting, maybe a little extended question. Uh, if you were to recall, what are the three or four key values or principles that you imbibed from your parents and which you cherish and value them even today?
See, to give a brief background, I am the only person, even today, other than my son, in a private sector.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Otherwise, all my father, as well as all my relatives, whether it's uncle or aunt, all are government servants.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
My father was the deputy secretary to the government in Tamil Nadu Secretariat. If you look at my mother's side, both my uh, brothers of my mother was a
okay,
joint secretary in the Secretariat of Government of Kerala, and one of his brother was again a garrison engineer and all that, MES, Military Engineering Service. Father
okay,
said all are either professors or even the principal of some of the Qaid Millat College in Chennai and all those things. But only thing is, even at that stage in 1960s, all were graduates and educated. So educated and from a government
okay,
service part of it. That is
okay,
the background. I was the only person who slightly moved from a government setup to a went into HR and moved into Rasan and Tubro and grown in this
yeah, yeah,
setup. So certain things is very clear. As one is continuous education is a must. So you have to be, if you have to be above the others, it is only through education. You do not have anything else with us. That is
correct,
one. Second is hard work. Hard work and persistence is very, very important. Um, if others can, I don't think myself as very, very intelligent and all, but I compensate it by extra hours of effort, or putting too effort to see that I am among the best. So continuous hard work, persistence, and if you aim certain things, focus on that. Not get into too many things at one time. Take one particular thing, focus on that, complete it, and then move to the next. That has been my thing. So continuous learning,
yes.
hard work, persistence, and focus.
Amazing, amazing. I think anyone who works with you closely can notice all these principles very much in practice. I mean,
Yeah,
now that you spelt it out, I can relate
yeah,
it. But
yeah,
even otherwise, possibly I would have said the same thing.
yeah.
You're such an amazing, continuous learner. Sometimes I wonder at your stature, working hard, reading one more, and attending one more program, practicing coaching sessions. And this is enormous spirit of continuous learning. I think that's one principle. I think anyone who wants to aspire to grow and grow as a person, as a professional,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
should possibly imbibe. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. So if you turn your attention a little more towards your organization, that is Larsen& Toubro, what a wonderful organization, sir. So much of capabilities and continuously upgrading the capabilities and greatly committed people. The organization is full of so many committed people. And the amazing thing is contribution to nation building. So many national monuments are constructed by L&T, contributed by that, and of course so many beautiful HRD practices. So that is the kind of organization, the way I think I visualize from outside. um, Now my question to you, sir, is how did HRD become a, such a DNA of L&T? It seems to be a part of that organization.
Sir, I don't know whether I have discussed with you earlier. The term HRD, Human
Yeah.
Resource Department, was first in L&T, in the whole
Yes.
of country.
Yeah.
So that is where it started. Okay, in 1975, Mr. T.V. Rao and Uday Parekh was
Exactly.
invited when he was with IIM Ahmedabad to do a small project on our performance appraisal system. That
Correct.
is where they designed the pads, and then from there they introduced the concept of HRD, human resource development. Otherwise, it was a personal and IR and personal
Yeah.
management, right? So that is how it started. So it is from the DNA of the organization right from beginning. And more than that, if you see the founders was when they started Huck Larsen, that's a statement. Buildings may be there, machinery may be there, but it's nothing without people. People are the prime movers. It's a statement which is made some 40 years back by the founder, one of the founders, which is still there in many of the being quoted everywhere. So mostly it's a people-oriented organization. Today, our entire strength is people. The
Mm-hmm.
at different levels, and each we focus mainly at the grassroots level. Look at graduate trainees from various institutes, develop them, put them through various programs, and that is how they have grown. Right from most of our directors are people who have joined us. Even our CEO, MD, chairman, and managing director again joined as a trainee, and he has
Exactly.
moved on. So that is where
Exactly.
the focus is on HR right from beginning, and most of the concepts in HR have been introduced in L&T. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, when I'm hearing this directly from you, I am recalling with a sweet regret, because at the beginning of my career, after I finished my masters, I applied for a few positions, and I did actually get an interview call as a management trainee in the L&T ECC division. And also at the same time, I also received a call from IIM Ahmedabad as a faculty associate. So
Okay.
between these two, it was conflicting. So I went to IIM Ahmedabad and I got selected and I happened to join there. But now when I keep hearing so much about L&T, had I joined as a management trainee, I would have been part of your team by now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But the interesting thing, sir,
Maybe
is
I would have lost the position of a CHRO.
oh, no. No, I would have been very, very wonderful to work with you
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So one is the visionaries who built such a organization from great foundations. The way you mentioned, buildings and machinery might be there, but it is actually people who bring the soul into the whole thing. But my related question is many organizations struggle to sustain these initiatives. One visionary, one great leader, they actually think and they start. But what wonderful thing that I notice in L&T is the way you're able to sustain several initiatives over the years. How is it possible, sir? How do you make it happen? I'm sure there's a great learning for many organizations to learn from you. A CHRO sitting at that level in the organization, how do you actually figure out your priorities?
That means a lot of things are changing in terms of technology, in terms of digitalization, in terms of analytics. So many things are happening.
But as a case study, if you want to really look back, there are no great people management processes and all of that.
If you discount it for the inflation numbers, we are almost remaining same or going slightly tapering.